Hey, welcome back to Maximize Your Influence, the channel that's going to teach you the skills to be more influential, to take your income, your life, your relationships, everything you want in life is on the other side of persuasion. So master these skills. Just finished a podcast. Check it out at MaximizeYourInfluence.com. Of course, last time we talked about how to use fear and how fear affects persuasion. This time I want to talk about how do you borrow credibility. This is a key factor. No credibility, no trust, no persuasion or influence. It's just not going to happen. So let me illustrate it with my story. Now, I spent all this money on a degree in business, thinking that would be the ticket. Then I spent more money on a graduate degree in business, thinking that would be the ticket. Then I got thrust in the workforce and realized after all this money, they didn't teach me some of the basic skill, that 85% that causes people to be successful in business. The people skills, the emotional intelligence, of course the influence, the persuasion, the negotiation. And I was mad. That's why I took my deep dive to study persuasion and influence. And then I started working with some of my early mentors named Jim Rohn, who taught me something very important about persuasion and influence, that when he learned and mastered persuasion and influence, he says, when I mastered persuasion and influence, I went from 6 digits to 7 digits. And then I even ventured with Brian Tracy, who taught me the following. Successful people are always looking for opportunities to help others. Unsuccessful people are always asking, what's in it for me? And as I mentored with these guys, and if you don't know who they are, look them up, they taught me the persuasion, the motivation, the influence skills that I needed. In fact, part of it is I was selling their seminars, and if I didn't persuade, I didn't eat. So I saw this in the corporate world, the importance, and that's when I started really looking at persuasion and influence and the changes it makes in people's lives. And then I started to mentor with a gentleman named Robert Allen, who does multiple streams of income, and Mark Victor Hansen, who does Chicken Soup for the Soul and co-creator of 1 Minute Millionaire, working with entrepreneurs, teach them different streams of income. And it was amazing to me, these entrepreneurs would get into real estate, some would get into internet, some would get into information marketing, some would get into coaching, all great businesses. They tried out for a couple months and say it didn't work. And I said, no, it didn't work for you. Look at all the millionaires in these industries. Why didn't it work for you? And it came back to the same 85%. Persuasion, influence, motivation, self-persuasion, mindset, all these things that are critical life skills. And that's when the bulb really went on, and I started taking that deep dive, started to train on it, train myself and train others. Then I wrote my first book, Maximum Influence. And as a first-time author, no credibility, so I had to go after some big-time people. Because I noticed in the bookstore, people would look at the front cover, and then they'd look at the back cover for endorsements. So before my book even came out, I went after, you heard of Stephen Covey, of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Name on the back. I also got Mark Victor Hansen, Chicken Soup for the Soul, Robert Allen, Larry King. That made the biggest difference for me, because what I did, I borrowed credibility, and that's what I want to teach you. Learn to borrow credibility, because people won't always trust you. I know you're a good, trustworthy person. That doesn't mean people will trust you. You have to borrow it. And there are 3 ways to do that. Number 1, the before picture. If you can explain to other people in your own life or other people's lives things that are similar to theirs, and you made it happen, you made it work, that opens their eyes, that builds credibility. My before picture was all this money and a college degree didn't help me out in the corporate world. My before picture was talking about other people that were working on streams of income and they weren't successful. And then it was the persuasion influence that made them successful. So it could be your own personal lives or other people's lives. The second one is social validation. Other people that have been through the same things, that you can borrow their credibility, give testimonials, endorsements. Here's the sad thing. People will always believe other people before they believe you. And the third thing is testimonials. You can't have too many testimonials. I use a lot of different testimonials and experiences of success experts and people that were great in the world of persuasion and influence. I borrowed their credibility, and you have to do the same thing. You have something to gain, borrow it. Endorsement, recommendation, testimonial, referral. I don't care. You have to borrow it. Even though you're good, trustworthy people, you have to borrow this to start that trust factor. Critical skill and persuasion influence. It's glue that holds everything together. So learn trust, master trust. It'll make a huge difference. In fact, go to MaximizeYourInfluence.com. Get more information on Maximum Influence. You can get the book for free. Pay a little shipping and handling. Take your persuasion IQ test. Take a look at Influence University with the advanced skills, advanced tools you need in persuasion and influence. Critical life skill. You got to learn it. Borrow credibility. Do it, and you'll be able to persuade with power.